everyone, my name is Tove and welcome back to my channel, ToveLoveKnits, and welcome back to the fourth episode of my podcast about knitting. I am originally from Finland, but I live now in the Netherlands with my husband and my 2 children. And today we have a lot to talk about. So let's dive right in with what I'm wearing, which is my finished object for the week. This is the Tolsta tee by Creabea in the twist of her test knitter called KAJsocks. Yeah. I started this project 21st of March and I finished it 6th of April. This was a really quick knit. The yarn I was knitting it with is Anel Miami. Yes, that is a 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. It's really soft, it's really bouncy, and I think for a t-shirt it's a really good choice of yarn. It's comfortable and not at all warm, so you get this really nice summer feeling of it, although it's knitwear, which I really liked and enjoyed. I had trouble getting gauge with this yarn in my needle size, so I ended up using a 4mm needle, and I ended up going up to size number 5. So my gauge was very tight. Yeah, it was tighter than what the pattern intended, but I'm really enjoying the fabric I created. So the KAJsocks version has these eyelets, band, and I made, like her, I made 3 bands like so, and then stockinette knit in between. I chose a twisted rib in all places, and I finished also off the arms in a twisted rib instead of what the KAJsocks did. Super good, super nice. I did block this t-shirt after I knit it, but it didn't change at all. So that's a really good thing. It kept its shape and it kept its size. What else? Yeah, I think that's what I did. I did some extra decreases on the side when I joined to the round and started knitting the body, just to get some shape. And altogether it took 250 grams of yarn. Check on that. Very good. I'm very happy with that result. Let's move into what I've knitted on this week, and that's actually all the whips I am currently working with. Let's start talking about the Battenberg blankets. It usually sits here. This week it doesn't, and I believe that's a good thing. This means that, well, right now I had laid it out on my spare bed, like here, and I've organized every color. I've also counted all the squares I have, done some calculations, and I believe I have around 300 colored squares left, and I almost made all of them. So that's a good thing. And then I only have to make the white squares in between and then join as you go. I can show you here one of the squares, and I might put a little short tutorial on how to make this square. It's really just it's a granny square, and the pattern is free, so I do think it's okay for me to show it. But this is how I now have organized the next row. How I started choosing the colors, because they should be random, or at least how this is my look of it. It should be sort of random. So I actually used ChatGPT to give me a randomized order of all the squares and the colors I did, and from there I am then organizing one row at a time. A little bit moving around if there's too many squares of the same color around one spot. But this is how I organize them. So this is all the next row I have, and then I'll just join them all with a white square. So this means that it's out of my sort of naughty corner, and I believe I'm gonna have to finish one row, or I'm gonna finish one row the next 2 weeks. Exciting. Good. My next whip, my second blanket that I'm currently working on. Last week I finished the tip. Very Finnish colors. So now I'm having the whole triangle corner done, and the next block is going to be quite a big one, down in one corner. And I do think, yeah, I know what yarn it is. It's going to be a pink yarn, same type of yarn that I had from there, and it's going to be very similar in size as well, so quite a big chunk of pink yarn. That's going to be nice, I think, to offset all the blue. And I hope that I'm gonna be able to do that also the coming 2 weeks. The Jigsaw blanket by Stephen West, which is my scrappy project. Next up is my favorite story by Kutovakika, Veronica Lindberg. Now, guys, I'm getting close. Here we go. So we have one full arm completely done. We have the whole body done, and 1 out of 3 repeats on the second sweater. I'm very excited about this. While the pattern on the body was quite not difficult, but it required quite a lot of brain space because there's a lot of twists in this pattern. The sleeves have been quite nice. It's this sort of, I don't have to look at the chart when I do the sleeves, so that is less of a requirement from my side to pick it up and actually work on it. And of course, when it's a sleeve, it's less of a circumference, so it goes also really a lot quicker. Now I'm excited about this again. On the bottom, you can see it's still on trying on tubing, and I haven't done the Italian bind off yet. My plan is that, although you see I did the same. Right. Okay, that's clever. Sorry, it was a while ago I looked at this. Yeah, I also have the sleeve on tried on tubing. My plan is to finish the second sleeve, block it, and see how much length I'm gonna gain in this block. I know that when you block cables like this, they open up, which means that you might actually lose some length. And right now the length is just fine. I hope that it's gonna also grow on the length a little bit, but I think mostly it will grow on the width, which means that I might need to go in and, you know, get some more length in the ribbing, which is fine. The pattern actually calls for a longer rib, 7.5 centimeters, I think, than what I already have at the moment. I think this is like, no, this is like, yeah, maybe 6. I have my tape measurement here. Yeah. Ooh, okay. It's only 5.5. Well, I should actually. Let's block it first, and then we'll see. And then I'll add on some length, probably, definitely. Now, what I'm thinking about it, how did I get to 5.5? I did 15 rows, and I was like, okay, I'm done. That's not enough. Anyway, I think this sleeve. Now when I'm picking up, every time I pick up a whip, I'd go, oh, that's nice. Let's work on that today. So now I'm excited to work on this. So let's finish the sleeve, block it, try it on, and then we'll see what to do next. let's talk about something that I have not talked about with you guys yet. This is my Riverside whip. The whip I've talked about, the whip I've showed for quite a lot of weeks now. The pattern is a free pattern from Ravelry. A basic long sleeved sweater with a little bit more open neckline, which I was really drawn to when it came to picking a pattern for these warmer months. And after that, I decided to make a, yeah, it's not a color work pattern, but it's a 1x1 color textured pattern with one color, white color being from Drops Nord finger weight yarn, and the rest of the colors are from my last December's Christmas advent calendar from Wool Atelier here in Holland. And it's getting this nice, colorful, variegated, yeah, just color bomb of a rainbow of a sweater. And I'm really enjoying how it looks like. I worked on sleeves this week, both of them, and how I did that. So for the body, I've just gone round with each color, and then I chose a new color when I was finished with one. For the sleeves, I divided the skein in 2 balls, and then I worked on each arm separately, and that has worked quite well. They look identical. Look at that. Look at that. Identical colors, and that's really what I wanted. I don't mind that the body and the arms will have different colors, because I'm not gonna do it in 4th or a 3rd and at 3 balls, but I wanted the sleeves to look sort of the same. So I'm really happy about this. Now, I don't have a good enough scale, I think, to be really exact on the gram. I think that's one of the things I have to buy for myself going forward. But I had a kitchen scale and I ballparked it, so it's okay. That's 2 colors for the sleeves. I tried it on, and I think I need at least 220. So it's 10 grams per skein per ball. So I think 2 more colors and I'm done with the sleeves, and I can go for the cuff. Right now, I think I will put the sleeves on hold and then move over to the body, because I want some more length to see how the fit is working out for me, and I think that's gonna be fine. I went from a green color down to a sort of a speckled, more orange, pink purple color, as you can see. And the next skein I'm gonna use for the body, where did it go? Oh no, there you go. It's this one. So it's gonna follow a little bit more, still crazy colors, crazy speckles, and then hopefully I'm gonna pick up more of this pink color and then move into purple, pink purple in the end of the sweater a little bit. For the sleeves, I'm gonna continue now in blue, green, gray, and continue with that. I think. Yeah. So that's nothing new. At least we have progress, and I'm happy with that. What I haven't talked to you about yet, because I think I was an ostrich. I just put my head in the sand and went, it's gonna be fine, and let's move on. But well, it's not gonna be fine, and I realized that it's not gonna be fine. But I have a plan for it, so now I feel like I accepted it. I have a plan, and I'm gonna move forward. It's the neck, or it's the shoulders, really. So this is a free pattern. I don't know how much testing this pattern got done on all the sizes. And I also picked a very big size because my gauge was very small. So all in all, I'm not really sure if that's the case or what happened, or if it's just the pattern that had this weird fit. But you can see, you can even see when I hold it up, maybe from the back, that it's just like, it's just too much neck. It's too high in the back. I really like the white shoulder seam, but look, it's like, it's too much, it's too much fabric. If I pull and do sort of like that, that's the correct shape of me. That's the correct shape of my shoulder. I'm not gonna, of course, oh my God, I'm not gonna rip it out, but I am gonna do some surgery. I'm not really sure how yet, but I am gonna take out the neckband. This is probably the last thing I'm gonna do because I'm gonna just move forward. And I'm gonna somehow, probably here with where this green is starting, I'm gonna somehow rip it out like backwards, or cut, I guess, and sort of fold it in like that. And then recreate the, with the Kitchener stitch or something like that, recreate the shoulder seam and then hope for that. And in the back also take away a couple of rows from the top to see. I've never done surgery like this ever. So it's gonna definitely be an interesting thing to do. And even if it's possible, I don't know if it's possible. So we're just gonna have to spend some hours on it. I definitely think it's gonna take some time, but I really like this sweater and I like it enough to try this. If it doesn't work out, then yeah, that's a shame. But I think it's gonna work out. And then just reattach or re-knit the neckband again, neck rib again. But for now, I'm not gonna think about that for another couple of weeks. I'm gonna do 1 or 2 balls on the body coming up in the coming 2 weeks. And then we'll get somewhere. Then we are coming into my little pouch here. The perfect size for socks. And now let's see. No, look at that. My needle is out and I have 2 socks on try-on tubing. It's on hold. There you go, look at that. These are my Intarsha KAJsocks. I'm knitting for my sister. Look at that. Super nice. I have knitted these. Is it a completely new? Have I not shown it? I don't know. I have to go back and see. Anyway, if that's the case, then these are a new cast on, I guess. Is it really? Anyway, no. I knit my socks toe up. Yeah, exactly. I finished last episode going, is that weird? And maybe, I don't know if it's weird, but I think it's easier this way. I start my socks with a Judy's Magic cast on. Me and my sister has quite same size of foot. I think she's like half a size or a size bigger than me. So I just followed my recipe. So I cast on 16 times 2 stitches. So Judy's magical cast on. You do on 2 needles parallel to each other. Go watch YouTube tutorial with it. So 16 times 2 gets you 32. And then I increased every other row until I hit 64 stitches. And I did that in a sock yarn from Grindel that I had left over from my long summer cardigan by KAJsocks. I don't know if I showed you that yet. Next time. And then after that, I moved on to green yarn. And I told you guys last episode, so go back to that one to know what this is about, but it's to support a band of three guys have a humor band, a comedy band from my village in Vörå in Finland, and they competed and won the Swedish national Eurovision. So they're gonna now compete in Switzerland in May, and they're called KAJ, K-A-J. And everyone that has anything to do with Österbottnia, Vörå, Finland even, is on the is on the PR wagon almost with them. So that's why I made KAJsocks. My sister is of course also a big supporter and big fan of these boys, so she wanted some KAJsocks, so I'm making those for her. Now, how I then do calculate my socks is when I made the toe, I consider the heel being the same size because it usually is for me. Specifically when you make the heel in a fish lips kiss heel, that is perfect when you make toe up socks. And after that, I just subtract the toe and the heel from the rest of the foot, and that's how I know how long my foot will be. This instance was 65 rounds, I think. So what I did was I did 12 rounds of normal green, then I made the Kai pattern, and I just used Stitch Fiddler for that, and I just draw it out. It's a very, very easy pattern, my own creation, oh my lord. And then the rest is just green yarn up to the heel. As you can see, there's nothing on the foot, so this means that I did this pattern or these letters using intarsia. That was one of my bucket lists for this year, to have an intarsia project. So this was a perfect starting point, I thought. It was small enough that if I didn't like it, it would be over quite soon. But still, you know, it's not just a blob on a sock. It's a little bit more difficult than just a heart or a ball. When I try new things, I think I know how to do it. That's what happened with the first sock. So basically what I thought was gonna happen is that I was just gonna do German short rows, because when you do intarsia, you have to, specifically in the round, you do one round and then you go backwards and then forwards and backwards, because otherwise the contrast color yarn won't be available when you get to the point where you need it again. So I did German short rows. Let me see, which one did I do that for? Yeah, here. But because I also do my socks in magic loop, it was very weird when you first of all had to change your needle and then do a German short row just around that place. So I jumped backward and forward a little bit, and you can really see how bulky or weird it looked. Can you see that? It's not pretty at all. Now I am gonna block it and I hope it's gonna be a little bit smoother, but I'm sorry, Nora, it's not my best work. So when I was done with this sock, I was thinking to myself, it can't be this difficult. Why is everyone wanting to do intarsia if it's this, you know, what's the point? It's really, I didn't like it at all. So I bit the sour apple and I went to YouTube, and I actually looked at a tutorial of intarsia. And the first time I watched it before and I was like, this is not so messy, I'm not gonna do this. And so I watched it again, and what they do is a loop technique to sort of twist the yarns together at the same point when you change colors. Anyway, I can't explain it, but I tried it and it turned out a lot easier, and you don't have this bulk or weird thing happening on the side of the sock. There you go. So it's smooth and nice. The color work itself, it's still quite tight, and again, I'm hoping that that's gonna block out, and I'm sure it will. So right now it's a little bit wonky and tight, but you know, blocking is magic. Right, so when I then finished the foot on each sock, I made the heel. And as I said, it's a fish lips kiss heel, and apparently it's patented, or it's someone that has actually made this. So you can buy it. I have reconstructed it, so I didn't buy it, I'm so sorry. So I probably didn't do it fully, but I'm doing it on my own little way. And therefore I probably can't really say how I do it. I don't know. But anyway, it's you knit the back, also with short rows. And then you do a couple of rows, and then you sort of knit backwards into the front heel. After this, I will continue with the green. Now, the reason why I did this weird way, because this is not usually what I'm doing. I'm not a sock knitter. I do have started to understand why it's fun, because I tend to now walk outside when it's good weather, and then I bring a sock with me to walk and knit with, and which I really enjoy. But the problem is that I'm slowly running out of yarn. This is a random piece of, I think, Sunnis yarn. It's not drops, so I think it's Sunnis yarn that my mother gave me for some reason. I have to weigh this now, see how much I have, and I also think I need to split it in two and then knit parallel. So now what I'm gonna do is gonna transfer these two socks now to one needle, one long needle, and do parallel knitting. So it's like all the all the techniques in one in this sock. Parallel knit. I'm gonna go into a 2x1 rib on the rest of the foot. Knit as much as I can in green, and then move over. Maybe do like a stripe of gray and one stripe or two gray stripes, and then continue with the gray until I have enough of the leg, and then make a rib. The gray, yeah, Grundle hot socks. Very random, very good. Those are my KAJsocks. Then, guys, we have ended up to a new cast on. This is the Lima top. I have to see, by Knitting for Olive. After I finished this t-shirt, of course the weather is now beautiful. It was 24 degrees yesterday. I mean, I might think I'm in Croatia already. It's not gonna be that nice in Croatia. It's really crazy how good this weather is now right now. So I got really inspired about more summer knits and wearable clothes for now, of course. So I went to Ravelry. Well, actually, I saw this on Instagram and I really liked it. I'm really into color work right now. I want some kind of pattern, and because my favorite story has so many cables, it's like I'm done with cables. So color work is really, I think, what the summer will be for me, at least for now. And I was talking to my friend Ichi, and she was gonna start a project with Drops Saffron, and I realized that 2 years ago I made a temperature blanket with Drops Saffron, and I have a lot of colors. Well, not a lot of colors left, but I have some colors left, and I picked them out, and they're in shades of green. This is ice blue, that is pistache, yeah, pistache, and that's sea green. So I have these three colors, and I love green, and that really suits me. So I thought, okay, great. I'm gonna make a top with these. But then I had the brilliant idea, because with my advent calendar, so the 10-gram skeins are wool, fingering weight wool. But then they gave us some goodies, and one of the goodies was this random 20-gram cotton based. I don't know what, if it's, I think it's 100% cotton. Green variated yarn. And I looked at it and I went, what do you do with 20 grams of this type of thing? You can't make socks of it. It's not, and I also don't have anything to pair it with, I thought. It's a little bit thicker than the saffron, but it's close enough to work with. So 20 gram, the pattern calls for 50 grams of the contrast color, and I don't know if it's one ball of the contrast color, and I don't know if they just say, okay, you have to have a ball, or if it's really 50 grams. I'm betting that it's not 50 grams, and I'm betting that 20 grams plus the pistachio will be enough to make the patterned stripes. Then this is my base color, and then I have this one, and I think I'm gonna make the I-cord neckline, the arm and the bottom hem, wow, words, in this one, if I need to, if I don't have enough of the ice blue. This is a great way of getting rid of your scraps, guys. Like, I didn't know what to do with all these four, and then boof, I am putting them together and I'm creating something completely awesome. Like, I really, really enjoy it, and I've been so obsessed by it. I think I restarted it 2 days ago. But let's talk about why I had to restart it. It's a bit of a mess. Bear with me. So, I have, boy, this is the front. Oh, it's not gonna work. Anyway, that's the front. And then I'm working on the back. There you go. Now you can see the back panel is really nice. So I have this ice blue in the bottom, and then this is now the variegated wool atelier yarn. So every other stripe is going to be this one, and every other stripe is going to be the pistache, as you see here in one of the front panels. There you go. And it's really a tank top. That's why it's you know, very, very teeny tiny band, but that's perfectly fine. And then you're gonna have an I-cord that makes it a little bit wider and a little bit neater, of course. I don't knit with cotton. I bought these cotton yarns because I did that temperature blanket because it was cheap and it was affordable. It was available with all these colors I wanted, but I never really knitted with it, and I must say it's fine. It's of course not as flowy and not as soft as a blend or wool blend or cotton merino blend or anything like that, or even wool itself, of course. But for a tank top that needs a little bit structure, this is also knitted in quite a negative ease. You need some structure, and I'm happy with it. But what I'm mostly happy with is the look. I'm falling in love with it, and I'm obsessed with it. I cannot put it down. So I said I restarted it. Okay, so let's go through this pattern without giving away too much of the pattern. It's a bottom to the top, bottom up construction. Strike number one in my book: I do not knit bottom up. I tried doing it with my Traveler's hoodie by Andrea Mauri. I gave up that as well. I tried this. I tried casting it on, and because I decided to do it, the hem, so I actually have it. I casted it on. There you go. And I knit and I knit and I knit, and I get nowhere. I think that's my biggest problem. I start in the bottom, and it's just so many stitches, and you have no results, and you don't, like, you see nothing happening. That's number one why I don't like it. And secondly, when I've tried it before in the past, I never know when I have enough fabric, because it's difficult to try on. It's cumbersome. You don't know what's happening on the top, so you don't know how much flow is going to be on the bottom. And I tend to end up with a too short of a garment. And after that, you cannot go back and fix it. If you start from the top and go down, you can actually unravel and knit through, like I'm doing with my favorite sweater. I'm blocking it, my favorite story. I'm blocking it and seeing what the length is, and I can go back and change it. You can't do that very easily, at least on bottom top garments. So what I did on the travel hoodie, I also did on this one. Instead, I did go in and see, can I just start from the top and go down and like hack the whole pattern. But I decided not to do that because it's quite technical when it comes to this type of top. But what I did, because it turned out really well on the other projects, was that I cast on just a couple of rows before splitting for the sleeves. So I think I did 4 rows before, and it turned out really well in the pattern because it was a baseline, a main color. So I did like 4 rows, and then I started splitting for the sleeves. So here you can see, where can you see it easily enough? Yeah, that's where I had a couple of rows of the blue, and then I went into the pattern, and in the same time, this is where you split for the sleeves. Then I'm now knitting upwards. I'm connecting everything, maybe even the I-cord, and then I'm picking up the sleeves and moving downwards. And after that, you just go. Now, picking up the sleeves, I tried just casting on the travel hoodie and then going and picking up the stitches. That went well, but it was quite a lot of work. So this time, I did a Judy's magic cast on for this. So I used two parallel needles. They were not the same size, but that doesn't really matter. And I cast on using the magic technique. And I put one side onto a cord. You can see. This is just a spare knitting cord. And I secured them. And they're now just hanging out in the bottom of my project. When I'm done with the top, I'll just go and connect my needles onto the cord and keep knitting. I think that's that easy. I hope it's gonna go well. I think it's gonna go well. I'm confident. And now I can then see, do I need to go in or out in my width? How long do I need to go? Or basically I will go until I run out of yarn. Because remember, 20 grams of this, and I don't know what I have, maybe 20 grams of that as well, 30 maybe. And then I'm done. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but no. I'm really excited about that. And instead of just and then nothing happens for 2 or 3 weeks and I'm getting bored of it, this is exciting, goes very fast, and I see result, and I know I like it now, so I'm confident and can keep going. So that's how I change every bloody pattern I do, I feel like, but no, that's what's fun about this. So that's my Lima top from Knitting from Olive. Okay, that's it for my whips. Last episode, I said to you guys that I was gonna go for a yarn fair with my friend Ichi in Breda, Breidagen it's called. They have 2 fairs per year, one in Breda in the spring and one in Nijmegen in the fall. The Nijmegen one is huge. I think that one is the biggest in Holland. The Breda one was also big. I've never really gone to a yarn fair like this before, so it was quite overwhelming for both of us. But it was very good to see and to feel the yarn, actually. You go to a yarn store and they might have a couple of brands and a couple of, mostly of course, commercial brands and commercial yarns. And this was really indie dyers, hand-dyed yarn. Really fun to see all the small businesses that is making incredible art, actually. You can see my shorts on YouTube and stories and reels on Instagram. 2 teeny tiny couple of seconds of what was there. I got really inspired, first of all, and it was really nice to see all the people. I did buy something, so this is the acquisition part of the podcast. I went in to say, okay, I want to buy yarn. That was really, I did want to buy yarn. I wanted to buy indie yarn, and I had a specific goal for it. But I also said to myself that, okay, if I find something, let's try to have a plan for it and an actual, pattern in mind. Because I'm going through this stash down. I want to be able to, knit my stash. So if I buy something, I also need to be able to know what I'm gonna knit it with. First, I bought from the same dyer. They're called Simmy's Studio, hand-dyed sock weight yarn in 2 colors. This is the first one, beautiful pink, blue, speckled, purpley yarn. This is a superwash merino, 100 grams, 400 meters. It's a very, it's a standard fingering weight yarn. And they're called distributed for Simmy by De Bont BV. Now, and the second one is this beautiful dark purple. Oh, this is awesome. Same colorway. Same yarn base, superwash merino, 400 meters. Gorgeous. Now, plans for this. So 100 grams won't give you a sweater, but I thought, because, okay, it's pricey. It's more than I spend on normal yarn for sure, and I'm not a yarn snob, so this is new for me. But I thought it was really nice to support and to find out how this is to knit as well. 100 grams, like I said, it's not enough for a sweater, but it is enough for a contrast color or a yoke pattern. And that's what I was going for. I had 2 patterns in mind where there's this pattern in the yoke, and that is perfect for a variegated hand-dyed yarn, and then the rest is a base color that I will buy from somewhere else. This I will hold double for a DK weight sweater, and it's gonna be Alice sweater by Sarah Opie. I've looked at this sweater for a long while, but I haven't made it because I didn't know what this contrast yoke color would be in. Commercial yarns doesn't really do variegated color changing yarn like this, so it was really difficult for me to know, sort of visualize that in that perspective. Now I can. So I think I'm gonna pick up the lightest of the purple colors of this, try to find something has the same type of color, and do that as a base color, and this is the yoke. Super cool. It's gonna be in the fall. Now this one has more of a color story in it. When I unravel this and look at it, I do think that it's gonna be either a full, just one repeat of purple, pink, white, and blue, or it's gonna be 2, so a double repeat of the color story. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at it that far yet, but either way, I think it's gonna be fine. And this is gonna be the Avena sweater by Jennifer Steingas. Sorry, I'm butchering your name. And because I chose this because the leaf pattern on the yoke really can handle a fade. I think it's made to have a 3-color fade in it, but I've seen project pages that just have like a variegated yarn or a color or even a fade in itself, and that's gonna be fine. Holding it double might be a little bit problematic because of the color, so if it's not double repeating itself, but I don't think it is, so I'm gonna hold it single, and then I have to see how the gauge will be. It's a DK weight or a sport weight, actually. Might be able to hack it into a sport weight gauge. That's those two. Then I went past a booth, and I'm really sad because I don't know what the booth is called, and I cannot link her, and I cannot give her credit now. And this is gonna be cringly, so hold on. I'm sorry, it's gonna kringle. I bought 12 times 25 grams of pure wool fingering based yarn in this colorway. They have a pack of this in all 4 seasonal colorways, so winter, spring, summer, and fall. And this is the spring version. And it only really says the season packet, spring, this is in Dutch, 12 times 25 grams, super soft. And it probably is made for cowls, cowl doodles, basically. And I think that would be very cool as well. Now, I am not a cowl girl, so I'm not gonna make that from it, but I am gonna make my first try of, what's it called? I am gonna make my own version of Fair Isle, or my own version. It's my first time making any Fair Isle. I've always thought it looked awesome and wonderful and a lot of work. And you have to have a lot of colors, so you have to have a vision. First of all, I have to buy a lot of different colors, but a lot of different yarns. And I don't have a yarn store around me that sell that type of yarns. It's quite difficult. And doing it online is even worse. Man, but this might be something, right? So this is the pattern I was thinking. It's called Heart's Content by Jennifer Beal. This has 16 colors, and I only have 12, plus a yoke or like a shoulder color, which I'm gonna have another type of yarn, a green yarn, I think, very close to this one. So I'm gonna, again, hack the color pattern or color work pattern for it to decrease the amount of colors. I looked at the color chart, and you can definitely do that. One of the colors only needed like 5 grams, so I can definitely use another color for that. But that's gonna have to be, I probably have to sort of go in and take it step by step and see what colors it is, and because it's like cross stitch but with knitting. It's really, it's gonna be mind-blowing basically, but really exciting about that as well. I need a lot of brain space and a lot of time for that, so I don't know when that's gonna happen. Maybe even not this summer, who knows. But I bought that, and I'm really happy about that. And all right, that's all for this week. Now, thanks so much for everyone has listened so far. You are as awesome as you can be, and you're champions in my book. Let me know if these long podcasts every 2 weeks is fun, or should I do it every week and a little bit shorter? Let me know. Time-wise, it works for me, but I feel like I'm talking a long time, and I don't know if anyone's listening anymore. Anyway, if you are, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you had some progress on your knitting. I hope you have a great week coming up. I will see how my schedule is now. I'm hoping I'm gonna get something out before we go on a holiday. Otherwise, I'll see you after. Happy knitting and take care. Bye.